Tonight, Matt, by popular demand, Ask a Mechanic all show long. All your questions tonight on the Lemonade Car Show. I'm Lorraine Sommerfeld, and this is the Lemonade Car Show. Today is a full hour of Ask the Mechanic, so get your questions ready. Our resident mechanic will answer any car-related questions you might have. Lemonade is brought to you by OMVIC, that's Ontario's vehicle sales regulator, and we're produced by the Automobile Protection Association. The APA fights for you, the consumer, and provides information and news on all parts of the industry. Visit our website at apa.ca or reach us by phone at 416-204-1444. Joining me today is John Raymond. He's an industry consultant and APA advisor. And Chris Muir, he's our mechanic and a professor at Centennial College. We'll be taking your calls this evening at our new number, 888-764-3778. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Great to be back.
It is nice to be back.
We had a bit of a break there.
A little bit.
A little bit. I want to ask you something right off the top because we have the GM news about the diesel stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So can you catch us up to date on what's going on?
The FCA about the diesel.
Oh, sorry, GM. Am I jumping the gun? Okay, FCA.
Well, it was announced that FCA has an issue with their diesel as a cheap device. It's a little bit of a different problem than what Volkswagen was doing, and we're waiting for more information, but already the law and the lawyers and the whole profession around that is out chasing owners to have them go into lawsuits in the U.S. and in Canada. But as far as I know now, it's not similar to the Volkswagen, but still an issue that is concerning to say the least, and it will involve software modifications, which will probably reduce the performance and fuel economy of your vehicle. So that's anything with that 3-liter diesel engine, so Ram pickups, Grand Cherokees.
Mm-hmm. When the VW news came out like a year and a half ago, most of us in the industry were going, waiting.
Who's
because
next?
Everybody that has diesels was waiting, and we're not allowed to say anything because we don't know anything. Mm-hmm. However, we've been waiting now. Do you think we're going to see more dominoes fall? Do you think
I
there's
think we're
going
to see some. Okay. You know, there have been a lot of finger pointing, and Mercedes so far has been lucky. They have been unscathed, although they came to the mat once. BMW has had some issues, mm-hmm. and things are very quiet in BMW land. But I would say most of the manufacturers were up to something to meet these standards, mm-hmm. whether on their own or in cahoots with their suppliers. And, you know, the whole notion of software controls and emission controls is a very big subject, as it depends on jurisdiction. What's good for California is not good for the rest of the U.S. Mm-hmm. European standards for fuel economy or for emissions are much different and much more lenient in terms of how it's measured.
So the fact that we're seeing vehicles that are made in a lot of different markets for a lot mm-hmm. of different markets, it's getting more homogenized. Is that why you think maybe there's more fudging going on?
I think so. And I think some of it also had to deal with durability. It wasn't necessarily that, yes, we wanted to pollute the environment more. It's if you have a cold engine in a very cold environment, the engine will have to run rich. We'll have the catalytics run hotter initially to warm the engine up, but not the same case in other markets. So
the emissions from the Volkswagen doesn't really relate to cold running, though. It actually relates directly to hot running. You don't create NOx until about 1200 degrees. So they were leaning out the fuel charge in order to increase those fuel numbers. You can remove NOx from the emissions by introducing more diesel and cooling off the combustion process.
I have no idea what you just said.
Basically, cold, better. Hot, bad.
Thank you.
Okay. If you look at LA, that's not hydrocarbons, that's NOx. That's what smog is, right? That's what burns your eyes when you're standing beside the car.
Yeah. Okay. No, I just...
So I think we will see
Gonna see
more of that.
more of that going on.
Okay, whether it's with diesels or with other engines. And
And we also, I know that sales for VW have obviously slumped, but I know a lot of viewers and readers are shying away from diesel now just because of that. The fallout has come across all the lines. Are we going to see more of a push away from diesel? And I don't know if electrics are going to gain from that, or hydrogen or gas. I think internal combustion engines are going to gain from that before anyone else
what's
does.
interesting is that there's been a prediction for a long time that diesels would be over. And then Volkswagen came out with their clean diesels, and Mercedes and BMW followed suit.
Yeah.
I don't think the VW scandal helped at all.
No.
Interestingly, Jaguar and Land Rover shows up to the party with a bunch of diesels, and now there's going to be the Chevy Cruze diesel that's coming out.
They've
as
tried this
well.
once before, though, and
Yeah, Dover
it
Cruise
failed.
diesel.
I mean, it met a lukewarm market at best, right? People are very afraid of change. People have this kind of strange opposition to diesels. They go back, again, it's same as an electric car. They go back in time and they remember when they were loud and stinky. And now Volkswagen came out and they destroyed the market a little bit. And then Mitsubishi had their faux pas overseas. And now Dodge is going, well, it's not as green as we kind of hoped. So now we're paying a premium for vehicles that are getting bought back or recalled and failing on those mileage promises that the consumer was given.
Going forward, it will be a small part of the market.
It will.
And whether we all want to accept it or not, battery electric vehicles, BEVs, and hybrid vehicles that are either plug-in or non, will be the motive force going forward because of either legislation, taxation, or other issues.
Okay, can you talk to my Alberta Twitter followers? Because I'm not talking to them anymore.
I think what we're going to see in the interim is a lot of GDI engines because we can do efficient fuel delivery. We can reduce the displacement, increasing fuel mileage. We use alternate forms of induction, be it turbocharging or supercharging, in order to get more performance out of smaller engines, increasing fuel economy. And Mazda has actually just released that they're going to use a homogeneous charged ignition engine, meaning they're going to use gasoline like a diesel without a spark plug, which is going to improve mileage again.
Translation for Chris is that we'll see very highly efficient gas engines that will be burning less fuel, giving us good gas mileage and safer for the
familiar with
environment.
the tech, so we'll embrace it faster. I think we have time to get this in. Hi, Howard. Thanks for calling the show tonight. Do you have a question for us?
Yeah, really enjoying the show so far.
Thank you.
I own a 2015 BMW 335 xDrive with an M package, and it's the second year I've had it. And this year it's developing a brake squeal, a very slight one when I come to a stop. So if I press on the brake hardly, it doesn't. But when I touch it at very slowly, it squeals. I was at the dealer, and the car has about 21,000 kilometers. It's still new. I was at the dealer, a local dealer, who looked at the brakes and said that's the way it is. The manufacturers changed to a more environmentally friendly brake disc, and they said in the cold it does this again. So, and it's very annoying. They say a lot of the German cars do this. So I just spoke to the service manager again today to see if they had a fix, and they said, well, bring the car in on Monday. We'll check the brakes and make sure they're okay. I know they're okay. And he said that's the first way. They seem to think it's to do with the material of the discs. I was wondering if you've heard of this issue with German cars or similar cars to mine.
Performance cars more so than anything. You're using a very, very hard friction material. You may have a chamfered edge on it. You may have a hot spot in the pad. Something's squealing. It's no different than a needle on a record player. You're getting an amplified reverberation from the brake disc. There's ways of correcting it, whether it be changing the pad material for something slightly softer or harder, just to change the frequency of it. Or it could be something as simple as servicing the pad, taking the edges off of them, giving them a bit of an angle before they contact the rotor.
Right. Well, I've had BMWs for 40 years, and it's the first one I've ever experienced this noise.
And because you're looking for more performance, they're using the latest and greatest technologies. And you may have a superior brake application, but you may be sacrificing some creature comfort in order to get that.
So are you saying it can be fixed, or that's the nature of the beast?
Very likely it can be fixed. You may have to experiment with aftermarket options, different pads. Generally, the manufacturer will support you and service that brake system. If it didn't do it in kind of the first 10,000 kilometers,
It didn't.
then it's not really a characteristic of the vehicle, and it should be able to be serviced or replaced out of it.
Okay, so you're saying have the dealer look at it again, see
Yeah.
what they say. I've actually called BMW Canada. They said they're not aware of this issue. So I'm getting two different answers here.
I hope that
I
helps
don't
you, Howard.
understand.
Thanks for calling in tonight. The Lemonade Car Show, brought to you by OMVIC, Ontario's motor vehicle sales regulator, returns after this short break. When we come back, we'll be taking your calls, 888-764-3778.